mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM at AM 630. WMAL.
7:37. It is Thursday morning. Brian Wilson and Brian Neiman here on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. Here to do his fair share of talking, Lanny Davis, former Clinton White House counsel, good friend of this program. Lanny, how are you?
I'm very well. Looking forward to aggravating all of you this morning, as I usually do.
Well, okay, so what's on your mind? What do you want to aggravate us about?
Well, I just wanted to congratulate the Republican Party for allowing one or two pro-choice people to speak at the convention, while both candidates, Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, would deprive women of the right to choose when they decide that it's a decision between themselves and a physician whether to have an abortion.
Really? That's what they would do? They would deprive a woman of that?
They certainly would, by constitutional amendment, which would freeze into the Constitution what the framers would be horrified to learn.
Let me ask you this.
The Republican ticket, and they're putting a couple of pro-choice people up there, even though they disagree with them completely.
Come on, be honest. Have you ever heard Mitt Romney say that he wants a constitutional amendment to ban abortion?
He's running on the Republican platform that says that. Well, if he repudiates the Republican platform, you will have me on the air, and I will eat humble.
Have you heard Mitt Romney say that as President of the United States, I will push for a constitutional amendment to ban abortion?
Yes, he's supporting the Republican platform.
You've heard him say that.
Now, if he repudiates that, I'll bring humble pie to your studio, and we'll watch me eat it.
All right. Well, I mean, let's talk about the Democrats.
Let's say that. That's a lie, Lanny. I mean, he's not out there saying that he wants to ban abortion.
Republican platform. If he repudiates that plank, which calls for a constitutional amendment, I will be in your studio, and I'll have my wife bake humble pie.
But I want to get again. Have you heard him on the campaign trail say any of this? It's not. It's made up. It's just to scare people.
To anything about the Republican platform yet, because it isn't written, but it's in draft form.
All right. Let me ask you this:
if he repudiates that plank in the Republican platform, I will take it back.
But Lanny, listen,
the Republican platform every year in the last 20 years, and this year in draft says that a constitutional amendment should be enacted that would prohibit abortion choices.
Has the House?
Women, if it doesn't happen, I will be in your studio.
Has the House controlled by the Republicans? Has the House of Representatives controlled by the Republicans? Have they passed a bill that was a constitutional? I'm asking you. I mean, if it's the platform, then they would have already done it.
A majority of the Republican House members support a constitutional amendment. The answer is yes, but
they have never passed a bill.
Mitt Romney running on the Republican platform. That's the challenge I'm giving you, and I promise you, if I am wrong, that he repudiates that, I will be in your studio.
And yet, Lanny, when you look at the Democratic side of the equation, and you look at what's going to happen at the Democratic convention, we see all of these women. All of these women are going to be up there talking, and I have no problem with that. I got no issue with that. But then your keynote speaker is Bill Clinton? Isn't that sending like a different kind of message when you pick somebody like Bill Clinton to be your keynote speaker?
Well, you guys are grasping, so we're having a man as a keynote speaker. Who's the former president of the United States and probably one of the most popular former presidents right now in history. I wouldn't call that a gender selection. I would call that a popular selection.
Yeah. A man who also cheated on his wife in the Oval Office, and a man who's been accused of...
Now we're going... You guys are really in a bad mood today, so we're using words like cheated.
I'm just saying. I mean, we did. That is a fact, right?
No, I don't believe your words are a fact. You use characterizing words. I use facts.
Wait a second. So it's a fact that Republicans want...
It's a great subject. Why don't we talk about what happened 15 years ago in the private life of Bill Clinton rather than what your listeners...
I just want to make sure I get this straight. It's a fact that Republicans want a constitutional amendment to ban abortion, and it's not a fact that Bill Clinton cheated on his wife.
Abortion is very relevant because the Republicans are touting that they're putting pro-choice women on the platform, while their actual platform deprives women of choice.
All right. One thing I can agree on, Lanny, is that you have indeed irritated both of us. So you have succeeded.
But let me get on the abortion thing. I'm just going to go back to this because it's important. I'm sorry, it's important. Todd Akin, who has been roundly criticized by just about everybody in the Republican Party for his comments on rape and abortion and pregnancy, the bill that he sponsored, did that ban abortion, or is that just so there would be no federal funding for certain types of abortion?
I don't know what Congress.
Okay, well, I do. It was for federal funding.
In a bill, I know that he favors prohibiting abortions even for rape and incest. I know that Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan do not, and I credit tremendously Governor Romney and Paul Ryan and the Republican Party for immediately repudiating this extreme position stated, which he genuinely believes, by Mr. Akin.
All right. Can we change topics?
I know. You see, I've stunned you by saying something good about the Republican Party.
No, it's not that. I mean, you want to be serious about issues, and the serious thing about the issue is that abortion is certainly a big deal to a lot of people in this country, and it's polarizing. But I just think what you're saying the Republicans want to do is not true.
Look, I'll stand corrected. You read the Republican platform as it's currently drafted, as it was drafted the last 20 years.
Gosh.
That said a constitutional amendment to prohibit abortion, and in fact, the constitutional amendment language doesn't clearly take out rape and incest, although I believe Governor Romney and Congressman Ryan have, although I'm not sure about Congressman Ryan about rape and incest, but I do know Governor Romney has. Look, this is a crucial fifth vote on the Supreme Court. It causes a lot of Democrats who have doubts about President Obama to vote for President Obama because Mitt Romney will appoint a Supreme Court justice who will cast the fifth vote to overturn Roe versus Wade. This is a major reason.
All right, and the Supreme Court has nothing to do
for Barack Obama.
And
that happens to be the truth.
I want to make a point here, and I would say to you, if you are intellectually honest, you will agree with me on this one point. Presidents have often ignored the platforms of their party, both Democrat and Republican. Is that true, or is that not true?
That is absolutely true.
Moving on.
That's why I'm volunteering to appear in your studio, which is going to be very, very painful for me.
And did you say that
Romney repudiates that plank, which I think is an extreme plank that probably 90% of American people oppose, including pro-life people, to mess with our Constitution. If he repudiates it, it's been there. Go back and read every plank for the last 20 years.
And when the Republicans controlled,
to have that pie.
Yeah, right. And did you say that you were going to make your wife make the humble pie?
Yes, I will.
You were going to make your wife? That's sexist,
That's
Lanny.
sexist.
How could you do that?
Oh, my God.
And you put an apron on.
She's very good at that. She's experienced because she's forced me to eat. After 27 years of marriage, I've had a number of versions of her humble pie.
Yes, I'm certain that you have, and I'll be glad to watch you eat it again. Thank you, Lanny. Nice talking to you, I think.
Take care, guys. Talk to you next week.
Once again, the election is about the economy, it's not about abortion. And if that were the case, when the Republicans controlled the White House with George W. Bush in the Senate and the House, they would have passed a constitutional amendment, and it would have gone to the states, right? And by the way, the Supreme Court has nothing to do with that.
Remind me never again to ask Lanny what's on his mind, okay? I'm really sorry. I blame you.